and let us know when we're live. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. It is 1 minute past 12 and welcome to today's Communities, Neighbourhoods and Streetpride Cabinet Member meeting, Thursday the 21st of January. Rescheduled from the Thursday of the 21st of January due to IT problems. Obviously, it is the 25th today. First of all, apologies. I don't believe there is any.
I'm not aware of any.
Okay, thank you. Late items to be introduced by the chair. There is none. Item 3, which is declarations of interest, which there is none from myself. And then item 4, it is minutes of the meeting held on the 19th of November 2020, which I am happy to confirm. Okay, and so we move on to item 5, which is the review of response to ASB complaints community trigger. Who is leading on it? Who wants to take this lead?
So the paper that Craig has put together is just to update your councillor Smale on some amendments to the Community Trigger Act. So I'll hand over to Craig to briefly just summarise his report and answer any questions.
Brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, the report, I'm the author of the report, and today I'm seeking your approval to adopt what we have is the Derbyshire Community Trigger Guidance and Process. We have had this since the introduction of the Community Trigger, which was part of the Police and Crime Act 2014, and we've used that guidance and practitioners' guidance and policy for the first 6 years. However, due to changes in data protection and changes within some services, it was due a review, which was always a good thing. So I put that before you today for a reassessment with a recommendation that you look at the operational processes and guidance which are in the appendix and to approve that. My supporting information to that is to say that whilst we've had this legislation available and to be used by members of the public, within the City of Derby, we are yet to have a fully fledged formal community trigger that has been asked for by the members of the public. That is not to say that we have had no inquiries whatsoever regarding the trigger, because we have. However, what I can say, and I think this is a testament to what we do as a local authority, is that whilst people may well have been interested in potentially applying or making an application for a community trigger, that has never been for any services provided by the local authority or by the police, who predominantly deal with most cases of antisocial behaviour. Our experience has been they are usually because a housing provider needs some support or guidance, or has not given a response to the satisfaction of a tenant in respect to complaints of antisocial behaviour. So in respect of the local authority, we've never had a fully fledged community trigger. However, we need to have it. It's a statutory requirement, and I do commend both the report and the appendix for your consideration today.
Thank you very much, Craig. Just to say, I mean, such an extensive document, and there's more to it than just a case of ASB and community triggers. And you know, for example, when going through this document myself, you know, it talks about the relevant bodies involved. It's not just a case of is it the city council, it's the police, but there's also, which you've also touched on, Craig, social housing providers, and also one that's probably off the scope that people wouldn't think about is the clinical commissioning group, which obviously has some involvement in helping those community trigger processes, because ASB is not. It's not a cutthroat problem to resolve. There could be a multitude of reasons for why ASB is happening. Could be relating to problems with mental health, drink-related, drug-related. There is sometimes, when it comes to ASB issues that we have, and then ward councillors like myself, and I'm sure all other members of Derby City Council will have ASB complaints in one form or another, and it's not as easy as we should lock everyone up, or you know, we should make an arrest on the spot there and then. There is ways that we need to help resolve these issues, and this is one of these processes that can help us do that. Am I right in saying that, Craig?
Absolutely, that is quite true. A lot of the occasions and the trigger, the real event that started this piece of legislation was a young lady and her daughter who had failed to get the responses from the police that they required, and tragically took their own lives. So it's an excellent piece of legislation. You're quite right, Councillor Smale, there's a lot of guidance, there's a lot of process involved in a community trigger, and that essentially is to review the responses that services have provided where there's an allegation that they have not responded to a complaint. In most of, in all cases that we've had, there have been responses, but not necessarily deemed to be adequate or meeting the complainant's needs. We take a leading role in responding to those complaints and administering the community trigger. And what we have found is that on an informal basis, where experienced and talented community safety officers have got involved to support and direct other services, there's been no need to resort to a formal community trigger. And in all instances, we've managed to solve that problem and receive thanks for doing so. But no doubt, we need to have a process. It's good that the public have it. And, you know, like I say, I commend the report to you.
Brilliant. No, thank you very much. So is there any other comments to be added to this?
I think, Councillor Smale, I'd just like to add that, you know, recognition of what Craig has just described to you, you know, the community trigger is part of that wider partnership approach. Derby City Council is absolutely committed to working with the wider Team Derby partnership, which includes, you know, statutory agencies and voluntary agencies. People are complex, community protection issues are complex, and we do recognise that, and we do seek where there are clearly issues present to help resolve the root cause of some of this. A community trigger is just one vehicle that we can use to support that wider community approach. So just to endorse what Craig has said, really, and just to confirm that this isn't something the City Council does alone, it's something that we do with our partners, and we do it very well.
I mean, I think some of these phrases that we do like to use, it's another chink in our armoury, or it's another tool in the toolbox, I suppose, for us to use along with our partner agencies to help resolve some of these issues. But yes, I very much commend this report, and want to thank Craig's time and involvement in you know, presenting this report to me, and the extensive work that's gone in towards the Appendix 1 document. So if that's everything involved in that, I would like to approve the recommendation in the report 2.1, which is to Cabinet Note, accept the report and adopt the operational processes attached in Appendix 1, which I'm very much happy to do. And I believe that is the only item left on this agenda for today, so that concludes today's meeting. So thank you very much, everyone.